I'm Robin Gagnon.
And I'm Eric Gagnon, and we sell restaurants. We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm, We Sell Restaurants, over a decade ago. You can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com.
We are also on your radio once a week with the leading authorities in the industry talking about subjects trending in the restaurant business. Tweet your own questions while we're on the air. Our Twitter handle, it's Sell Restaurants. Post to our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook.com/We Sell Restaurants. If we don't get to your questions, we'll follow up on social media.
Our goal is to satisfy your appetite for acquisition, feed the need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success. If you have any ideas or comments for the show, you can email me at Eric, E-R-I-C, at WeSellRestaurants.com.
We just returned from talking to the organizers, participants, and random foodies who attended the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine Show. This event was held on the 15th of September in a showcase of inland seafood's superior seafood meats and artisan specialty foods that was perfectly paired with quality wine and spirits. It was an opportunity for food service professionals to engage with producers, manufacturers, and purveyors of the best foods, wine, and spirits in the industry.
For those of you who don't know, Inland Seafood is the largest seafood distributor in the Southeast, one of the leading packers of Maine lobster, and one of the most innovative companies in our industry. It has built a strong reputation over 35 years by providing quality products to its customers, products that are tailored to every foodie's needs, and this was established in 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia, and was founded on a simple philosophy of supplying customers with the best quality seafood available with the best service in the industry.
So what do all the people we interviewed have in common from this show? That's right. They love the concept of protein and wine. We started off by talking to Mateka Gilliard, the sales manager for Inland Seafood. Let's hear what she had to say from the floor. So what is your name and what is your role with the company?
My name is Mateka Gilliard, and I'm the sales manager for our Atlanta-based distribution center office.
Fabulous. So we have been having a blast today, and I want to make sure I get this exactly right, at the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirit Show, and so has everyone else. How did you put together such a great event?
Well, many years ago, and this is prior to me starting with Inland Seafood, I've actually been with the Inland Seafood family since 2007, but we used to go around to shows all throughout the United States for first and foremost the Boston Seafood Show, and we would experience all of the vendors coming around to us and wanting to sell and et cetera. And from that point, we realized that Inland Seafood, we're such a large distributor, why don't we do something to where we make it chef related and customer service related? And that's pretty much where our beginning started.
Is the wine and spirit components always been part of it from day one?
It has not. It's just grown into a great partnership. There's been great relationships within the city. We try and pair with the best, and knowing that quality, they provide such a phenomenal product, an expansion of wines and other liquors. So we wanted to expand on a company that, one, also distributed in areas that we did too, basically throughout the city of Atlanta, but that has grown, and the partnership is become what you see today, which is now over 5,000 individuals.
So we have seen students from fabulous culinary schools. We have seen restaurateurs. We have seen foodies and would-be restaurateurs, bloggers, folks with wine shops. We've just seen a whole cross-section of the hospitality industry. Is that your goal, to attract everyone?
It is definitely our goal. First and foremost, just being able to hands-on have the relationship with the culinary schools, local culinary schools, the students. This is their beginning, and so this is an opportunity for them not only to decide, is this the industry that I want to be in? Do you have a common interest? And learn more about the education, learn more about what they are actually applying, and make that applicable to their day-to-day activities and skill sets. So yes, that is definitely our concentrated efforts. We get a little bit more than that during the show. And then the one-on-one relationship with the chefs. What better opportunity do you have to bring your chef in and expose them to our products? And they're able to say, you know, I've got a product from Greece. I have a product from Chile. We have a product from Norway.
Someone told me their favorite bite today was octopus. I mean, you really, you bring out all the stops. It's everything and anything.
Absolutely. Several different octopus suppliers. Main one, which you'll see in a lot of local restaurants right now, is the Spanish octopus. Believe it or not, the Spanish octopus is harvested in Mexico, which is a huge discussion piece when it comes to our chefs because it's marketed as a Spanish, but that's where it's harvested and packed. It is phenomenal, and you usually do see that. Right now, I can't think about any of our top 10 restaurants that aren't carrying our Spanish product.
Wow. You know, one thing that really intrigued me, I know your name is Inland Seafood, but you know what? I taste some great foie gras today, some veal, some different proteins. That's a surprise. It may come to a surprise to some of our listeners or people. Tell us a bit more about the expanded, I guess, offerings that y'all have.
Well, our specialty products that we carry, like the foie gras, like you mentioned, with Artisan Foie Gras, Junie and Guillermo, owners of that company, special relationship. They bonded with Joel Knox, our owner, and they started harvesting these ducks, I'd say, over 30 years ago. They were actually, I want to say that they were living in Paris at the time, and they were working under another company and decided this was something that they wanted to do after learning the skill set. We've now formulated such phenomenal relationships with our other specialty suppliers, like our foie gras, bringing to the table not only it's a great accoutrement to the seafood industry, and so we try and look for whether it's local vendors, specialty suppliers, and that might be charcuterie. It could be the veal or lamb, and add on that additional, as we say in our industry, line item. But we don't want it to just be the generic. We're not looking for the commodity. We're looking for the specialty line that has a story that the chefs can bring to their restaurant and to the table.
So do you have advice for folks attending your restaurant, folks that are attending the show who are accounts of yours? Do you say, here's kind of a game plan, or here's some ideas, or is it a free-for-all? Do you say, just come, taste, use all your senses and decide? Are you a kind of process girl, or are you the one saying, no, just go out and discover?
I'm a little bit of both, but more than anything, it starts with the one-on-one relationship with the salesperson and whoever that guest might be. It doesn't necessarily have to be the chef, because we're reaching out to the purchasers. Again, we're reaching out to the students, the instructors. I'd say the one-on-one of going around, if you're really excited about a product and you want to sell it, you give it that special attention, and what time like today then to go and introduce them with those individuals. And then there's a part where you don't want to hover. You want them to experience what today is about. That's why we call it our Inland Seafood Experience. And they're able to bring that information and say, Mateka, you know, I was able to have the wonderful salmon trout that's provided by Harvard Leroy today. And it was in a tartare application. Is that something that's ready, available all year, which it is. So that experience, I'd say I'm 50-50 on how I feel about that.
So you have a lot of people coming in with different ideas, but most of them come with somewhat of an idea of a plan of what they want to do, and based on your team to advise them to say, hey, you really want to check these things out. Maybe it's food costs. Hey, my food cost is really high. I got to get rid of these 3 products. What should I replace them with? And today is a great way to come and maybe sample and talk to their rep about it.
You're actually right, almost answering the question for me, which is really good. And they do, because this time we're going into the fall and winter. And so the conversation pieces that are happening right now is, what do I put on my menu? What's sustainable? What can I count on that's not going to send my food costs through the roof through the winter, and running the highest margins possible? And there is. What's portion control that I can work with? And the octopus that you mentioned, we have different applications of that to where you have whole body and you only have the octopus hands, and even though the yields might be different. And so those are the things that we're going around and talking about, where essentially over the phone I can talk to you about anything, but seeing is believing, and it's like the icing on the cake. So when you can do that, instead of having to wait for a sales rep and saying, oh, well, you know, send us a sample, and that sample might not ever be seen by the chef, and maybe it becomes family meal for someone. This way we can guarantee and say, chef, you know, you went crazy over our Maya redfish, and which is this phenomenal sustainable redfish program that Inland Seafood is the vendor for and supplier for first sustainable redfish farm year-round in Mexico, which is phenomenal. And we can put that on your menu year-round at a very low margin cost. So I would say, to answer your question in conclusion to that, many different applications and many different sources that you could use, and it depends on who that person is. Again, it just depends on who that particular person is you're speaking with.
So it's an experience, it's education, it's discovery. I mean, all of those elements are what today's event is about, and that's what folks listening, foodies, would-be restaurateurs, people coming into the industry, that's what they should be taking away from a food show like this.
Absolutely. One of the biggest, I think, things that I've seen some of my closer chefs in the past is, the young members that are coming on, and even our veterans. We're always learning in any capacity that you're in, but weather patterns are changing, and those are things that we're talking about. Sea bass. Sea bass is wanted by most people, but then also on the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch, and why some people purchase frozen at sea bass versus fresh sea bass, and the cost factor. So it's educational. It also is a relationship builder. It's discovering new opportunities, new applications, bringing the vendors to the restaurants. I know that if I owned a restaurant, I would love to know where my products are coming from and have those relationships with my suppliers. So I think it fits all aspects of what we do.
And I think also, Robin, both of you forgot, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, you heard it here. We are live at the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirits Show. Our host has been the Inland Seafood Company, and just a fabulous company. We had a great experience. Thanks so much for inviting us along today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you were a part of our show.
The amount of feedback, the effort put by Inland Seafood and its employees like Matika was amazing, and I have to tell you, each participant, guest, and even some of the organizers were surprised by the turnout. Moving on to guests, we spoke to Ted Field, the wine expert at A Big Slice, and Chef Andrew Tokus from Me, My Chef, and I. They took the time out from their tasting for all the delicious goodies and spoke to us. Let's take you back to the floor on the show and listen to what they had to say.
Hey, we're at the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirits Show. Who are you and why are you here?
My name is Ted Field. I'm with A Big Slice, which is an online food, wine, entertaining website. And what I'm doing here is I'm scoping out new wines and new foods for pairings, because that's what I love. I like the mixing of the wine and food together.
Oh, that is fantastic. You've got a counterpart with you. Who's this?
Hi, I'm Andrew Tokus. I'm with Me, My Chef, and I. I'm a private chef here in the city of Atlanta, and I'm here to taste out some new wines that Quality has, as well as some of the seafood products.
Okay, so you guys are all about the wine. I didn't hear you say a word about food.
Well, it's all to us. It's all about the pairing. You can't have one without the other. Probably my background is wine, but especially when you talk about the European wines, they consider wine food. So I like to taste them together. I like to see what's going on in food, the spices, etc., and then try the wines to go with it.
So do you guys come out, before you come to these shows here, do you guys do a preparation a little bit and have some expectation? Like you have something specific and you try to match to it and you do your homework before you come?
Well, it's really funny you ask, because Ted plans for days and days in advance. I, on the other hand, like to wing it, and luckily I've got him as my tour guide. So
yeah, I'm the anal retentive one. So I plan everything. I know who's here. I know the wines I want to taste. I know the foods I want to taste with them, and sort of have in my mind, because obviously this is huge and you can't do everything, so you kind of got to focus on what you want to do, or you'll miss half of it.
And y'all produce good results. Andrew, how about you? You come out here, you kind of like, let me be surprised. So do you end up like finding things, or you're just kind of more here for general process, educational purposes?
Well, no, actually, I will tell you a little story about in Italy last year. Ted and I went on an excursion to Italy for their largest wine exposition, and being the adventurous one, I did find a little gem that he and I ended up doing some business with, and it was just purely by luck. The guy just happened to, we made eye contact. He said, "Would you like to try my wine?" I said, "Sure." He wasn't on our map whatsoever. So every now and then you hit a potluck.
So what advice would you give someone coming to a show like this for the first time?
It's huge. So I think you've got to have a little preparation. You kind of got to know what you're looking for. You cannot taste everything. You can't do it. So you better hit those important things, but remain open-minded, or you might miss that hidden gem.
That is great advice. So tell us again, what is your name and what is your website? Where can we find you?
My name is Ted Field, and the website is abigslice.com for a big slice of life.
Love that. And how about you, Andrew?
Again, I'm Andrew Tokus. I am with memychefandI.webs.com, and you can find me here in Atlanta and in the surrounding areas.
Fabulous. Thank you guys so much. Have a great show.
It was fun. Thank you.
Next up are the future of the restaurant and culinary industry, the young chefs. We found Jesse Wilson and Angel from the prestigious Le Cordon Bleu on the floor. We caught up with them just in time to get their views on this event.
We are here. The restaurant brokers are at the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirit Show, and you guys are here wearing fabulous jackets that say Le Cordon Bleu. So you are students. What's your name?
I'm Jesse Wilson.
Jesse, how long have you been in school?
About a month now.
Oh my gosh, you're a newbie.
Exactly.
Is this your first food show?
Yes, this is my first event that I've been to with the school.
What do you think?
I love it. I think it's a great networking tool. I mean, I'm in another industry and I'm crossing over, and I just think that the networking that I'm getting today is just second to none.
Fabulous.
We also joined by Angel here, also a first-year student at Le Cordon Bleu. Is that right, Angel?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is this your first food show as well?
Yes, sir, with the school, yes.
Yeah? And tell me about, what are you trying to accomplish here today? Do you have a goal, or what are you here? There's a lot of things happening, but what is your goal?
My goal is to network with as much chefs as possible.
Okay.
See who's actually in here, who's the big heads, who's the top ones. I want to get my face seen and known, get their business cards out there.
Do you guys are trying to learn more about that as well, and how from the people that are making them, so you can, when you bring that understanding of the proteins, that you can bring it to your chef experience in the future?
Oh yes, I'm a strong believer that proteins are well matched with wines and spirits.
All right. How about you, Jesse?
I'm love wine myself. I've been to Italy a couple times, and I think that a good wine is definitely something that can set off your meal perfectly. You got a good steak. The best thing you can have with it is a good glass of wine.
We've heard some of the wine people that says, the food needs to match the wine, but I'm sure you guys are going to say the wine's got to match the food, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, exactly. You don't want something too strong, and then you're trying to have a fillet. Yeah.
So what is the best bite you've put in your mouth today?
Honestly, I think it was the fargois or the octopus. This was only my second time having octopus, and I think the way octopus and potatoes, I never would have thought that, but that was amazing.
Okay, same question, Angel.
I would definitely have to say the octopus as well. I'm not really a big fan of octopus, but I really liked it and enjoyed it today.
So that's what a food show's about, right? These new experiences and new things. So if you have somebody out in the audience who's listening, who's a foodie or someone who wants to go to culinary school, what's your advice to them about a show like this?
Just get out and do it. It's free to come in. You just show up. That's all you have to do. Just show up. You gotta want it though. I have my instructor at school, Chef Anderson. He just says you have to be passionate, but you have to be obsessed. You got to be obsessed with food. I think that's the first step. You got to have an obsession.
Okay, Angel, reel it in for us. Are you obsessed with food?
Oh man, obsessed is not even the word. If they had a higher one for it.
That's great. Well, the restaurant brokers are at the food show today. We are at the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirit Show, and we are talking to a couple of great students at Le Cordon Bleu, Jesse Wilson and Angel today. Thanks for your time, guys.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we had the pleasure of meeting Nicholas from the Food Network Kitchen. Let's hear what he does and why he was at the show.
We're at the food show today. Tell us who you are and what you're doing here.
My
My name is Nicholas Silford. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm work with Food Network Kitchen, and we're here just to basically go through and sample out new products and try a few different wines and hopefully find something that we can use on our line.
What is the favorite thing you've tasted today?
Favorite thing I must say that I've tasted would be probably, it was a pan-seared halibut that was encrusted with basil and cayenne pepper.
That sounds fabulous. I like that cayenne pepper kick.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then are you telling me you're the guy that makes all these Food Network stars look effortless and like they know what they're doing?
You know, to be honest, I'll just take the credit for that one right now. But whoever is out there may be paying attention and actually is giving it, well, good luck to them, and I'm glad that they've allowed an opportunity for me to work for them.
That's great. Now, how long have you been a chef?
I've been a chef for 6 years now.
Did you go to school? Where did you go to school?
Actually, I did not go to school. I was culinary trained by my friend's father who owns Seasons Cafe in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That is a great brand, so congratulations. And that's probably some of the best training, right, coming through the ranks?
Hands-on training is probably hands down one of the best things. It's kind of hard sometimes to get some people who are just fresh out of school and haven't had the line experience that you would actually get from working straight into the field.
Okay, so you've got Food Network on your jacket, and that's what everybody in this industry ascribes to. How'd you get your job with Food Network?
Actually, it was the lady I trained at a previous job. She ended up becoming a manager at one of the locations and actually brought me on and said that she needed a helping hand. So I figured I'd submit my application and see how it went.
So is that your dream job?
It is, for now. But I always aspire to do something else at some point. So.
What advice would you give somebody coming to a big trade show like this? Did you do something to get ready, or are you just winging it and seeing what kind of catches your eye as you go past?
I'll definitely just say wing it. Just come in and try different things, keep an open mind about it, and hopefully you'll make a decision that whether you like it or not, and there won't be too many dislikes. Hopefully there'll be a lot of things that you do like here.
That's fabulous. Now, we have a lot of folks listening to our show who are would-be restaurateurs, they're foodies, and they may be folks who are considering a career in this industry. Do you have any advice for them?
It's going to take a lot of time and hard work, so just keep pushing forward. It may push you to pull your hair out, but go ahead and just keep pursuing it. Keep sticking with it.
People love this industry. They're passionate about it, and I can tell you're passionate about it just from your conversations today. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's something that it's hard to do, but if you are passionate about it, you will stick with this industry.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shows like these are critical to showcase your product, especially as a young startup. But that's not all. We got much more to come from the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine and Spirits Show.
Remember, today's show is sponsored in part by Today's Restaurant, the food service industry newspaper, and one of our sponsors. To get your free subscription to Today's Restaurant delivered monthly in the mail, visit their website at www.trnusa.com. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, the Restaurant Brokers. We're bringing you the latest news from the Inland Seafood and Quality Wine Show as we satisfy your appetite for acquisition, feed the need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success.